Oh dear, we've already got an issue. It's not cropped properly. Because I haven't used this
Oh,
preset before, it's not cropped properly.
hang on. How are we gonna start it?
Well, we're going now, Tom.
We're live now.
I did say 3, 2, 1 for a reason. I wasn't just counting down for the fun of it.
Good start.
Yeah, the start wasn't not being cropped properly. Anyway, so anyway,
This is our first time doing this, by the way. So
the issue is it's not my
Probably
first
so.
time. Anyway, who's got the stream up that needs to mute it? Oh, that's me that needs to mute it.
So this he is our head of sort of advertising and social media,
The head of most things other than writing, pretty much.
and you can see he's very professional for this.
What, Dan?
turn the light on.
Oh no.
This isn't going well already. You said when are we starting then?
Right, we all ready?
Take two. I think we are already this time. Anyway, does anyone want to introduce themselves? I've been introduced as the head of pretty much social media, advertising,
I'll just
well, kind of head of production to an extent. The non-acting and writing side of everything I'm in charge of. Tom, who is currently sitting below me, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Tom. I'm co-director with Sam. We sort of came up with the idea, and we're writing it, and we're going to be like the directors and stuff. So yeah, we are. Yeah.
Sam, do you want to go for it?
I'm Sam. Yeah, I'm the co-director with Tom. Yeah, we sort of joint idea as to write a play, and yeah, we've got to take it from there.
I'm Dan. You're here to make up the numbers. Do you want to introduce yourself as well?
I'm Dan. When I found out these two were doing play, I said I'd help, and I'm the catering manager for the crew members.
Yeah.
I need to change your role name then. Okay, fair enough. I thought you were just general help. I need to change that name. Alright, Tom, do you want to give us...
So blame Tom.
Yeah. But yeah, if anything goes wrong at the moment, it's not my fault. It's not like I'm in charge of this. It's not like I've set this all up. It's all Tom's fault. He's the one below me.
Great.
Anyway, oh yeah, also, sorry that I'm very rarely looking at the camera. It's because I've got them open here. Just if I look at the camera, I'm trying to read what you're saying. Tom, do you want to give us an introduction to what the play that we've planned is about?
Yeah, sure. So we've been writing it for a little while, sort of in lockdown, Sam and I, and so it's basically about World War Two. We haven't finished it yet. We've still got some stuff to finish off, but it's about World War Two and sort of this one soldier and his experiences and how it sort of changed his life. Yeah, so we.
We're sort of trying to give some key points to make it as real as possible, so the audience gets sort of a first-hand idea of what a soldier in the life of World War II would have gone through. But we're also trying to give it our own sort of interpretation, so sort of a mixture of true facts and sort of fictional.
We want it to be pretty realistic. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have time frame or anything else you can give us on it?
Well, we're hoping to finish writing it by, was it Easter?
yeah.
Easter was the deadline I gave you to, so I'd hope so.
Yeah.
To be honest, we're relatively close to finishing it. I think we'll finish it before then. But
Yeah.
we need to sort of get our heads down and crack on.
With the play, do you think if this is a success, there'll be others in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my personal point of view, I'd definitely like to do more in the future. If we get the chance, that'll be really good, because it is definitely something. Considering we've started this when we were both 16, like our idea was from 16. Like we were both 16 when we came up with the idea, and to continue that on, if we could eventually turn it into something bigger and stronger, and turn it into a proper company, that would be really good because me and Tom both have ideas for the future on what we could do already. So yeah, the support we could get from the audience and from anyone who watches would be really great.
Yeah, we also talked about doing like comedy sort of war play, which would be quite sort of be kind of based off of like Blackadder or something, which would be quite good.
To follow up from Dan's question a little bit, with the doing it in the future, do you think it'll be solely World War Two, World War One probably based, or do you think like Cold War or previous wars, like I can't remember the war, but the French and German war for the Rhineland, I think it was, or the Persian War, stuff like that, will that come into it as well?
I don't really know. I don't think we thought about it that much.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll reword the question then. Is this a World War Two and World War One war company, or is this just a war company, like production company?
Well, go on.
I think momentarily it's mainly just World War One and World War Two, but
Okay.
we're definitely open to ideas for the future. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, the ideas won't come from me because I can't write.
Nice.
Dan, is there anything you want to ask?
With obviously the play, sometimes there's main characters. Is there any big like scenes that resemble stuff that actually happened, or is it just based off what you've heard about the war?
That's a good question.
We've
Good question, yeah. I mean, originally we were going to base it off one of Sam's. Was it your uncle or something?
My mum's uncle, so my great uncle. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to originally sort of base it directly off sort of his experiences, like a true story thing. But then we decided to change it so it's sort of our writing, so we can be a bit more creative. But definitely some of it is been inspired by like stuff we've heard.
Yeah, I think quite a lot of it is inspired by our own stories that we've been told by our relatives. So it's got a bit of sort of Tom's history from the war in, it's got a bit of my history, family history from the war in, and some of it's just research and some of it's fictional, like we said. So yeah.
Do you want to give us some background into main characters in it, or like?
Yeah, sure. Tom, I think, has got the character list, doesn't he?
I have got the character list. If I just get it up.
Well, I'll start talking about the main character.
Alright.
So the main character in the play is Jonathan Hanson. So I think we said he was about in his early 20s. And sort of his story. He comes from I wouldn't say a large family, sort of average-sized family from during the wartime. He gets a letter for calling up papers, and then he sort of takes it from there. Sort of his first initial thoughts are, I don't really want to do this. I want to put that away. Don't want to focus in it. But yeah, he sort of and then
Something happens.
That happens and makes him realise that actually he does, and then the story sort of continues from there into sort of his experiences during the war.
And the story, we're thinking the story has a sort of twist in how it's sort of done in the at the interval, like it takes a different turn. So yeah, I mean total character. Oh, sorry. Total
with
character
this main.
Go on, Dan.
Again with the main character, is it so as the play starts, is it starting off as like him in the war and this is his like memories, or is it based off as soon as the play starts, it's him moving on with his life, like going into the war?
So yeah, that's a good question. I think our perspective, or what we have decided, like from working out what would be best, our decision has been to start it sort of from a younger age of him, just sort of his life. So it starts from a younger age, and then it just shows his story from that young age towards the end of the war, sort of thing. So it's,
So, like, would it start out with him coming out of school or something, and like, I don't know, let's say
Yeah.
5 years before the war starts, just showing what his normal life was like.
yeah.
Then would it
Yeah,
go
we're having
into
flashbacks. Yeah.
Then would it go into him enlisting, him training, army camp, boot camp, stuff like that?
Yeah.
But we want
You
to
were
show like
talking about the characters, Tom.
Yeah.
yeah. So we want to show the real contrast between like his normal life at home, and then we want to suddenly like show how suddenly it happened, like him fighting. And Sam and I have thought of quite a good sequence
Yeah.
to show that, which if we can pull it off, would hopefully be quite good.
Yeah. Obviously, current circumstances are avoiding us, but
Yes.
yeah,
But,
it makes
you
it
know.
quite difficult for us writing the play, doing it online, because it's harder to interact with each other. Because when we're writing it, we're very focused. We can interact really well when we were being able to do it sort of face to face. But obviously now the new lockdown and stuff's happened, it's sort of stopped that. So it makes it harder because we're back in college, back. We have less time to do it because we obviously got other
Work.
personal work to do and stuff. So it makes it harder. But
Yeah.
we are definitely pushing through and trying to get it done as soon as possible.
Well, with the balancing the college work, normal work, whatever, with this, like, do you think it's realistic to even say we're going to get the play done by the end of 2021? Yeah, 2021, sorry, which is what we originally said in the advertising video.
Well, obviously, with everything that's going on, like with lockdown and everything, it's hard to know when we'll actually be able to put it on. I mean,
Yeah.
we definitely want to get it written, and we almost definitely are going to get it written before Easter.
Yeah.
And then from there, we want to sort of have to hire like actors and actresses and the cast and crew and stuff. So, I mean, it'd be nice if we could obviously put it on by the end of this year, maybe sort of Christmas time. But
Yeah.
we just don't know if we'll be able
Yeah.
to.
At the moment, like usually we'd be able to predict what would happen, but at the moment we just can't. So
We can't
Yeah.
promise anything.
So
yeah,
the 2020
Following,
end of 2021 we said is more of a sort of a aim to get it on by then, more than a statement
Yeah.
of.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, following Owen's point with obviously balancing work, you is your college course in A levels 2 years? So obviously next year as well, you're gonna still be balancing that work. So do you think after college this is going to be like a full-time thing?
Well, for me personally, my college course is a 1-year course, and after that, I'm potentially going into the RAF, depending on what happens with obviously current circumstances. So that will sort of, it might cause an effect that put stuff on hold, which is why we're trying to be committed and get stuff done as soon as possible. So it's less difficult. So the more difficult stuff we're trying to get done now, and then have the easier stuff, so we can move that around what's going on with our lives.
Yeah.
I don't know about Tom's college course, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing A levels, so I'll be doing them for 2 years. And I think we balance time quite well at the moment,
Yeah.
I guess. So, yeah, just have to see. Have we got any questions come through?
Well, we've had "Come on, oh mate, you're breathing so loud. What up, lads?" and "Sup, guys" so far. So
Great. Can you tell them to ask some questions?
I did put a message out saying if anyone wants to ask any questions, feel free.
So you're hoping in maybe, like, this is a bit long, but in 5 years this could be like a full-time working production company.
Yeah, potentially. I think that's an aim for us. It's definitely a goal for us, but it just
See how it goes.
Like we said, we can't really predict the future, so it just all depends on what happens with our lives and work and careers and all that.
Yeah.
So, out of curiosity, are your A level courses aiding in the production of the play, or are they just not relevant at the moment?
What do you mean?
Essentially, do A levels
As
at like
in-
stuff like drama, writing, stuff like that, or is it just like? I think you're doing history, Tom, so that would help a little bit. I could be mistaken there.
No, I was doing it at the start, but
Okay.
I swapped it. I mean, yeah, I did history at GCSE, and Sam's already got quite a good knowledge of history, so you know we sort of know we know our stuff quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
Well, we both took GCSE drama, so that's quite a good sort of idea for us because we sort of know
Yeah,
how it works.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice when we were doing history in school, you two, when it came to the war side, you two knew a lot of the stuff.
What do you mean, you two? I was there as well, knowing a lot.
yeah, but the teacher never came to you, Owen.
That's true.
Even when we hadn't done it in the years before, you two already knew quite a lot of it. So I think that will definitely come in handy because obviously
Yeah.
this is a war.
Yeah,
Play.
I mean, personally, war and sort of the history behind the wars is quite interesting for me, especially sort of World War One and World War Two. The sort of like, I have quite a passion in collecting military stuff and finding out the history, and I just find it all so interesting. So I get a lot of knowledge from that, which is really good.
Well, I'm just going to quickly read something out. The message from the chat is where are we hoping to perform, which is a good question.
That's a very
That
good
is a
question. I've
yeah,
got a list.
so,
Have you?
yeah.
What don't you have a list for?
Got a list for pretty much everything.
Also,
As we were talking about lists, Tom, you also said you had a character list. Could you please explain some other characters that will be in the play?
After we've answered this question, Dan, we'll come back to the character list.
Yeah.
Just
It's just Tom said it earlier, and it's just been in my mind.
so, is it
just
just places in East Anglia area, or is it Suffolk, or what are we going for?
Well, at the moment, our initial idea is to try and
Where is it?
rent places to be able to perform.
Yeah.
So we had some ideas such as old Air Force bases, and so like Debich and Bentwaters, places like that.
So you're
we're
thinking
also
more
thinking of
like
doing it sort of mostly locally, I think, at the moment, until we can all have the ability to be able to move ourselves about more, because obviously
well,
we're starting.
hopefully by the end of
most
2021.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've lost the list.
that's great.
Okay,
Tom,
the list is fine. So anyway, to kind of follow up from that.
yeah.
Like when you said old Air Force, I can't speak. When you said old Air Force bases, so you're
Yeah.
trying to do more like sort of places where the background and scenery is already there for you, or will you include like dance theatre, stuff like that?
Yeah,
that'd be like full
advanced
size
as well, but like sort of, I think if we can try and do it as many with the background sort of already there for us, it will be, it will make the environment more sort of, I don't know, special in a way, because it's sort of got its own personal history of the place that we're performing it at, as well as like our play, sort of merging them together. But like obviously, yeah, our initial idea is just to sort of travel around, and then eventually, if it becomes a much bigger company, when we're older, we'll try and invest in like a derelict land or something and build our own theatre property there with additional stuff. But that's all sort of,
But we're mainly going to do it in Suffolk for now.
yeah. And until it sort of grows, we'll mainly keep it in Suffolk, sort of. But yeah,
I'm annoyed I can't find that list.
I think it was we had Debich, Bentwaters. There was another airfield. I can't remember what it was called.
Crow's Hall.
Crow's Hall in Debenham.
Tom, if you want to stop looking for that list and go back to the character list, so Dan will stuff about it. Do you want to give us some background on some other characters?
Yeah, sure. So, character list. I have got that. Yes, here it is. Right. So, so the main character, as we said before, is Jonathan Hanson. We've got his mother, Charles Hanson. His father, Charles Hanson. His mother, Rose Hanson.
Okay, okay, that makes more sense. I was thinking, mother was named Charles. Like, in 1930s, not quite buying it.
And he's got two sisters, Alice and Rebecca, and then there's a grandma. who
Yeah.
we are yet to name.
We've got older brother.
Oh, the older brother called Charlie Hanson. And then we've got his friends that he meets when he's serving in the army, who are Stuart Redgrave, Philip Whiting, and Jacob Smith.
Okay.
Are the names, and then yeah.
Quick
the
question about the
actors
names.
for those characters will contrast between sort of the family. So some of the family actors will play his friends as well, just to sort of.
Low budget. Quick question about the names.
Yeah, thanks for saying how it is, Owen.
Well, no, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's not a lie though, is it?
This is
It's
this is
No, it's fine.
this
and it's
is
quite common for
because
people to
at
play multiple
first-
actors. Anyway, Dan, can I just try and finish what I was saying before you ask a question? With character names, just Charlie Hanson, Charles Hanson being two different characters. That,
Yeah.
Well, often people like that's his son, and so he's named after his father.
Oh, I got confused. I thought for some reason I got my brain confused. I thought you said Charles Hanson was brother as well as Charlie Hanson being a
Oh,
brother.
no.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause we sort of took the Charles and Charlie from. Well, I mean, I think when we came up with the names, I sort of had the idea of sort of my family because my great granddad was called Charles and his son was also called Charles. So
Okay.
I sort of taken it from there as well.
Yeah.
What other, I
Dan,
think
what was
there
your
other characters
Dan? What were
as
you
well.
saying?
Earlier you said if this becomes a lot bigger, you want to like own some land and make a big theatre like company. Will on the set will there be like different buildings for different like themes of the war?
I don't really know at the moment. I think because we do have quite a lot of ideas of what we want to do with that land, but at the moment we can't really share them because they're separate things which aren't really well, they are related to the play in a way, but they're all sort of, I suppose you could say, secrets because it's sort of little things just to make it more interesting and make it more enjoyable for the audience. But I think what we'll do, we'll have a main barn which will just have sort of the whole studio set up, so it will have seats for the audience, and then they'll all be able to move about, so we can change the way the sort of different what's it called, stage set is arranged, and we'll just have different backdrops and stuff that we'll make ourselves. So at the moment it will mainly be just one building, but we might decide to have some other buildings with different styles in it. But yeah,
And we can set it up how we want that way and everything. So
I'll be honest. I was focused on something else. I wasn't really listening to the question that much.
well, since when do you listen, Owen?
Yeah, I was focused on something else. We've got two more
Do you-
messages to the chat.
Oh,
Are we
great.
having any music in the play? And if so, will it be live or pre-recorded?
Good question.
that is a good question.
As a matter of fact, Sam and I also going to sort of write our own music for
Write
it.
the music, yeah.
Um,
We're quite musical.
Yeah,
Are we
and
going to pre-record it and I'll play it at the point, or are we going to go for it live as it's happening?
I think it really depends sort of what scene in terms. Some of it will be pre-recorded, and some of it we might do live as well. It just depends on. But yeah, it will be a mixture of pre-recorded and live music. But
Right.
obviously, we won't be seen by the audience. We'll be backstage, so it's sort of
Have you thought of like costume wise, like a color scheme for the army uniform?
So, well,
Green.
yes and no.
Green.
khaki.
Yeah, it's khaki. Yeah. No. So I think our thoughts are to try and get in contact with the costume company Khaki Devils, who provide costumes for war films. So 1917, Journey's End, films like that. They've provided all of the costumes for that. They also provided the costumes for the new Dad's Army film. So yeah, we're hopefully going to try and get in contact with them to rent costumes, but also I think we're going to try and do a bit ourselves because obviously I have quite a lot of.
You're a bit of a collector.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit of a collector. I have
like a whole shed of.
Well, I think I have over 2,500 different pieces of military stuff. I probably have more,
Also,
but yeah.
a main part of the wars were guns. How is that gonna work?
So the costume company, Khaki Devils, also rent out deactivated and replica weapons.
Oh, I thought we were going to give the actors live guns to shoot each other. I admit we
Of
didn't
course
do
you would.
that.
Of course you think that, Owen.
I mean, that makes it more realistic.
So
If there's real blood, they can't call it unrealistic.
Method
no,
acting.
so yeah, we'll probably try and rent replicas.
Wait, I'm looking the wrong way. Look, geez.
Deactivated weapons, but
Yeah, because we don't have
it
to
will
buy
depend
fake blood.
because I don't think we're going to have that many. So it might be that we try and provide our own, because obviously legally now we can buy deactivated weapons. So that might be a investment for us, but
I mean,
we're not entirely sure yet.
yeah, I mean, guns will obviously be involved, but it's not like there will be action in
Yeah,
the
that's
play,
not
but
sort of a key point in our
it's
mind
not-
at the moment.
it's
no.
it's more of sort of
Yeah.
Any more questions come through, Owen?
Not as of yet, no.
Do you want to say a little bit about what you two are going to do?
Yeah.
Dan's kind of already introduced himself as chief catering manager,
Well,
and
What
yeah.
are you going to cook for us,
So-
Dan?
Oh,
Yeah, what's the chip
so obviously, as it's war theme, I thought I'd get cans of tinned food, just serve
spam.
them raw for people.
Just
What,
cans
the
of
cold
spam,
baked
corned beef.
Our head
Yeah.
chef, everyone.
But
Just as a
on a more
precaution, quickly,
serious-
I will be controlling that as well. I will have an influence, so you won't
Yeah, don't
get
worry.
any just raw
Dan will never be
food.
left alone with food. Don't worry.
But on a more serious kind of side, for my college course, I'm doing a catering course, so I'm learning how to do different things. So you never know, I could come up with magnificent food. Some could be poisonous. You never know.
Again, because the poison side, I will be having a say in most of
Yeah.
it. And then I
I
kind
will
of
be
just...
supervised.
Yeah, I think another idea quickly. Just let me. Can I just cut?
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
I think another idea for the food. From my point of view, I haven't really discussed this with any of you yet. I've just sort of came up with the idea. But whether
Good
we
to bring it
try
up
and
now.
make sort of, period related, so we
Yeah.
try and cook sort of dishes that they would have had during wartime.
So, like, rations. Do you...
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and stuff like that. Sort of, yeah. I
So
think
we'll
that
be
would be
giving
ideal.
them out
Also,
stale bread, stuff like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
see, other players give out ice cream at the interval. We give out,
Stale bread and
we
going
reckon-
off cheese.
we will have other food apart from rations.
Yeah, obviously
kind
we'll
of
have
food.
like snack bits and then like, yeah. But I just think
Don't expect a 3-course meal, though.
Yeah.
I was going to introduce what I actually do as well after Dan.
Yeah.
I kind of just, if you interact with us on social medias, you're probably interacting with me. I set up YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, well, Instagram. I didn't set it up, but I'm now kind of controlling it. So like this is running off my computer. So like if you see a live stream from us or another podcast, it will probably be me reading the chat, interacting with you people. So that's kind of my current job, and then overseeing what Stan's doing and helping Tom and Sam where I can.
Yeah. You're also Dan's babysitter as well.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, he's about the size of a baby, so he does need a babysitter. Like when he says he's cooking, we've got him a little playset cooker for him to cook on. Then I'm going to be cooking a proper cooker next to him.
Princess Castle ones.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah.
So
So I'm going for a trial period. If I can cook plastic food well, I can cook real food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm just going to state this
Got it.
now. At the moment, we are all volunteers. We're not being paid. None of us are paying each other at the current moment.
This is
Owen,
coming
I know
out
there's
of
a
our
look
money.
on your face. Eventually, yes, we will be paying
Yeah, I know.
Dan and Owen, but
Dan?
obviously at the moment we have no funds.
We did discuss this properly. We did talk about the money. I don't
Owen,
think Dan was
open
getting
up
it.
MS Paint again.
We did
Uh,
discuss it,
obviously-
Owen, but then your point is immediately invalid.
Is it? I thought it was Sam's that was invalid because Sam wanted to pay you. Me and Tom decided against it.
No, because
yeah, my
Tom
vote was
wants.
invalid
Tom
'cause
doesn't care as long as everyone's happy.
Yeah, that's
Like, look at him. We're talking about money, and he looks bored.
Yeah, but yeah, just stating that sort of at the moment, most of it is volunteering work. It's
This is all coming out of
Yeah.
our money, in some way or another.
because the funding. Speaking of funding, Tom, do you want to talk a bit more about our ideas for the funding?
Our sponsor.
Yes. We're not being
We don't have a
sponsored.
sponsor.
I mean, if any of you do want to sponsor us,
That
ring
would
us
be
up.
really helpful.
But,
It would be.
No, we do have some fundraiser ideas. So we're thinking of maybe going on sponsored bike rides, because Sam and I and Owen and Dan, we all like cycling.
Oh,
So
his face.
I guess you don't have to. But
Wait,
we
what's
were
my
thinking
face?
of
I'm not
doing-
gonna lie, I'm focused on something else again. I know I'm listening to Tom, but I didn't realise what face I made.
That's fine. We're doing
You were just so confused when, like, they started talking about sponsored cycle rides, and your face looked like fitness.
You were just like, I really
I'm
don't
the
want
one.
to do that.
Literally, my fitness course starts on tomorrow. So.
So yeah, we'll do sponsored cycle rides. Dan said he might do a sponsored cake sale.
Can we have a
So if you wanna-
sponsored
So
torture
if
day for
they-
Dan? We just put him in stockings for a day, and you paid to, like throw tomatoes.
Stockings?
That's the right word, isn't it? Old-fashioned
Stocks.
stocks. Same thing.
Yeah, type.
You know what I meant.
Stockings is something completely different.
No, it's just you know what I meant.
That's what they were called back then.
I was gonna
yeah,
say
I've-
the more modern term.
Yeah, no, the modern terminology, you think of what you put out before Christmas, like the giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Pretty
gonna
much.
say, well, I actually think you could probably find one big enough to fit me in.
Yeah, probably.
I'll fit him in my locker in year 7.
Okay.
Tom, you always
Yeah.
say this.
Anyway.
It's not true.
Anyway, that's something more normal. Yeah, we will
But
be
moving
trying.
on to the actual play, it seems you two have actually thought a lot about this, and it's something you're actually very passionate about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we started discussing it probably, must have been what, year 8, year 9?
Yeah, we always
Oh,
wanted to do something.
About eventually doing something, and then it just sort of got put on hold. We never really.
Just for 1 second, I opened a Google and it accidentally came up on the wrong screen. So
That's alright.
there is this like 3 seconds where you're just covered by whiteness.
That's alright.
That's
But
fine.
yeah.
Alright, nice.
So yeah, we've been discussing it for quite a while. Oh, and never mind.
What?
No, my phone just glitched out on the live stream. I think it's a bit slow.
It might just mean the white
right.
screen coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we have been discussing it for quite a few years actually, but we never really got around to doing it until sort of lockdown because it seemed like the perfect opportunity then
Exactly.
to actually take our idea and put it to words almost, sort of put pen on paper, so to speak. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're
So-
definitely committed to it.
When you've obviously wrote more and developed this play a lot more, will we be seeing more podcasts?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something for the future because personally I quite enjoyed doing this one, so I'd definitely be happy and up to do more. I think it'd be quite good because we don't necessarily have to do it just on the play. We can do it on other subjects related to the play.
I wouldn't really say this
obviously not
one's just been on the play
just about
either.
the play. Yeah.
Yeah, we it's good to
Well,
we
this is just
enjoy
an
doing it.
introduction to War Theatre
Yeah.
Productions.
Yeah, like we can give more detail and maybe do like if people are interested, sort of more history behind the characters and our sort of thoughts on the how we came up with the history side of things.
We might
No,
on our social media as well upload sample photos. In
Yeah.
I was
to
just about to ask Owen,
Sam's
have
stuff.
you linked the social medias?
What do you mean?
As in, because we could just
Give me a
put
second.
the links in to follow all the social medias if they want to.
I will do that now.
Yeah, we do have a Facebook and Instagram account as well.
And I think a Twitter.
Yes, we have all 3. I can't remember the details to the Twitter though.
Should we make a Reddit?
But it exists.
No, I.
Let's make a Reddit.
No.
We're not making a Reddit. But yeah. So
Yeah.
anyone else have any other questions?
Anything else to add?
Oh,
Anyone?
No. I think we
I
should be
can
good.
think of.
Also,
I
going back to
think-
fundraising quickly, I think we were gonna also do. Me and Tom were gonna do a hike,
Mm.
but we were gonna do it in World War II kit to make it more interesting.
Yes, with all the bags, and then maybe do a camp
Yeah.
as well, which would be
So
fun.
proper like full. So we're not gonna be sleeping in like these modern fantasy nylon tents. No.
No.
Proper old canvas tent, World War II period tent with the proper uniform and everything.
Have I missed something? I've got Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Have I missed one of them?
I think that's
Um,
it. Obviously the YouTube.
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 It's going on YouTube.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
But I think once you've actually finished the entire script for the play, I think we're then going to have quite a lot to talk about because we could ask more questions about the play as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to spoil it, but
yeah.
yeah.
No, we can't do too much.
Yeah,
information.
I think
Way
if we just go for like the first half of Act 1 with questions, like that should be fine.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We're also hoping to record the whole play as well, so
Yeah.
you know, we'd obviously
that
it's
would
better
be-
live. We'd encourage
Yeah.
people to come and see it live, but
Yeah.
if
But
people
I've-
missed it,
And I've got to record all of it, so I've got to stand somewhere with a camera for about 2 hours.
yes.
So-
You don't have to stand with the camera. You can just.
Does that also mean that potentially you could maybe make movies in the future?
We could, but no, not
I
that's
mean,
not a
we
plan at the
could,
moment.
but that is like
That's like
yeah, it's an idea, but it's not.
it's
Like,
yeah.
that is right at the bottom of the list of
We
our.
yeah. I mean,
At the moment,
We have a lot of other stuff on our plate to sort.
Well, at the moment, what we plan to do is get the play written. Then once we're starting to like practice it, I might be filming some of the practice, and we can just like show practicing bloopers, not spoiling it onto the YouTube.
Yeah.
And
there'll be
then,
plenty of bloopers. Don't worry.
Oh, the bloopers reel.
and then when it comes to the actual play, I might upload like a simple highlights reel to the YouTube, and then link like a
Yeah.
Patreon where if you donate a couple of quid, you can then like watch the play in full.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to fundraising and stuff, when we're doing it, we'll probably do like a little, I don't know, like a blog or something, like a little vlog or something. I don't know, like record a little bit of us.
I'm gonna need to buy more SD cards, aren't I?
What?
I'm gonna need to buy more SD cards, aren't I?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's coming out of your
Sure,
money.
so-
Ewan.
Basic. Oh, we should all do a different fundraiser on the same day and send all the like clips to Owen at the same time.
If you send me a footage from 3 different events at once, they won't be uploaded at the same time. They'll be uploaded like one a week.
But we do want to be sort of on our like YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's mainly going to be related to the play, but we may upload like on the note of movies. We're probably not going to make like a full feature length film, but we might
No.
upload little sort of things we've filmed,
Like
maybe just
Like 3-minute sketches,
Short-
stuff
short,
like
like-
that.
short little clips or something, which would be
Yeah.
quite. We can make them. So
Yeah.
I
so
think
with
this the
the
is going to be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
I'm not looking forward to editing it all together though. Especially if I'm not getting paid. Anyway.
Oh, and you are getting paid. It's just
Eventually.
At the moment, we have no money to pay you.
don't bring it up. I'll open MS Paint again. We don't want...
Well, thanks for
Yeah, if
tuning in.
if
I don't-
anyone's
unless
done,
any
we-
of you have any questions.
I think we should be done for now. So, cheers for everyone for watching and bye. I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see
thank
you soon, maybe.
Yeah.